When we hear about major scandals, we like to think those people are nothing like us, just a few bad apples in an otherwise honest world. But this comforting idea is mostly a myth. Everyday acts of dishonesty, like taking extra office supplies or telling white lies, are incredibly common. When millions of people commit small dishonest acts, the collective damage far outweighs that of a few big-time criminals. Research shows almost all of us are a little dishonest sometimes. We cheat or bend the rules when we think we can get away with it, but that doesn't make us bad people. Human morality is more complex than just good versus evil. The real question is, if we're all capable of dishonesty, what keeps us from going further? The answer lies in a psychological conflict. We want the benefits of cheating, but we also want to see ourselves as good people. We each have a personal fudge factor, a limit to how much we can cheat without feeling like a bad person. This fudge factor lets us rationalize small dishonest acts like exaggerating expenses while still seeing ourselves as honest. Contrary to the idea that people cheat only when the rewards are high and the risks are low, most people cheat just a little, even when they can't get caught. Why? Because we want to maintain a positive self-image. We balance the desire for personal gain with the need to feel honorable. This internal tug-of-war keeps our cheating in check. We stretch the truth, but only up to the point where it won't force us to see ourselves as cheaters. The fudge factor lets us benefit from minor dishonesty while still believing we're good people. It's the secret ingredient behind widespread, low-level cheating. Our self-concept, not just fear of punishment, is what keeps most of us honest, most of the time. To see the fudge factor in action, we ran a simple experiment. Participants had 5 minutes to solve math problems for cash rewards. In the control group, with no chance to cheat, people solved about 4 problems. In another group, participants could shred their answers and self-report their scores, no risk of being caught. If people were purely rational, they'd claim to solve all 20 problems. But they didn't. On average, they reported solving just 6. This shows most people cheat a little, not a lot. They inflate their performance just enough to earn extra money, but not so much that they feel like liars. Small lies are easy to justify. Maybe they felt close to solving another problem. The experiment reveals how we use the fudge factor to cheat just enough to profit while preserving our self-image. Our dishonesty is limited by what we can rationalize to ourselves. Rationalization is the story we tell ourselves to make our questionable actions seem acceptable. If we download a movie illegally, we might say, "The industry makes too much money anyway." We're experts at creating narratives that justify small dishonest acts, like taking office supplies or telling white lies. The easier an act is to rationalize, the more likely we are to do it. For example, stealing a soda from a fridge feels less wrong than taking $1 from a wallet because it's easier to justify. Our willingness to cheat depends on the context and the stories we can build around our actions. As long as we can find a plausible reason, we can cheat a little and still feel like good people. But when our actions become too blatant to justify, we stop because we don't want to see ourselves as dishonest. What stretches our fudge factor and makes us more likely to cheat? Psychological distance is a big factor. The further removed we are from the consequences, the easier it is to cheat. In one experiment, paying people in tokens instead of cash nearly doubled cheating. Filling out expense reports or downloading files feels less like stealing than taking cash, making dishonesty easier to rationalize. Social influence also matters. When we see someone from our group cheat and get away with it, we're more likely to cheat too. But if the cheater is an outsider, we actually cheat less. Our environment and the people around us shape our standards for honesty. Dishonesty isn't just about personal morals, it's about context and social cues. We're influenced by what others do and by how far removed we feel from the act itself. Our fudge factor expands or contracts based on these subtle signals. Just as some factors increase dishonesty, others can nudge us toward honesty. One of the most effective tools is a moral reminder. In experiments, asking people to recall the 10 Commandments or sign an honor code before a task eliminated cheating. These reminders activate our moral compass, shrinking our fudge factor to 0 for that moment. Signing an honesty pledge, or thinking about our values, makes cheating harder to rationalize. The reminder brings our desire to be good to the front of our minds. Imagine if tax or insurance forms started with an honesty pledge. These small nudges could encourage integrity. We don't need threats of punishment. We need reminders of our own values. By understanding the psychology of dishonesty, we can design systems that help us act honestly. Small interventions can make a big difference in promoting integrity. The truth about dishonesty is both unsettling and hopeful. It's unsettling to realize we're all tempted to cheat in small ways, but hopeful because dishonesty is shaped by our environment and psychology, not just by bad apples. Simple interventions, like moral reminders and reducing psychological distance, can have a profound effect. We can design our environments to make honesty easier, both in organizations and in our personal lives. Creating our own moral reminders and being mindful of rationalizations can help us resist temptation. Our social circles matter too. Surrounding ourselves with honest people reinforces our own integrity. Building a more honest world is a shared responsibility. It means creating systems that appeal to our better nature, not just relying on punishment. By understanding the science of dishonesty, we can take meaningful steps to live up to our own moral standards.